Hey, everybody, I am Kevin Iole. Welcome to Yahoo Sports. UFC is back on Saturday at Apex and making her return after a long absence. I think I used to hear that in pro wrestling sometimes, is the little bulldog, Felice Herrig. Felice, how are you?
I am doing good. How are you?
I'm awesome. Can't wait to see you fight Karolina Kowalkiewicz, a rematch of a fight you had a couple of years ago. I just thought you're in an interesting place. You've had a lot going on in your life. You've been injured. You've written a book. You've done a lot of things. But let's first just talk a little bit about how arduous it's been trying to get back, right? You've had really bad luck over the last several years with injuries. But can you discuss how the injuries have kind of hurt you both physically and mentally?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's not like I kept getting injured. I got the ACL, I tore my ACL and meniscus, and I had to get it repaired. And the surgeon didn't do a complete surgery. So he didn't fix my post-lateral corner. But I also didn't know this. Nobody, nobody could tell me what was going on. So it takes like a year to recover from the ACL. And by the time we figured it out, like 14 months later, like what was going on, I needed another surgery because first off, he didn't fix the post-lateral corner. And because he didn't fix the post-lateral corner, my knee was unstable. So my meniscus pulled out of the bone. So I only needed the second surgery because the first surgeon didn't do a complete surgery. But mentally, it is very hard, just because the one thing that, if you have that one thing in your life that you find happiness from, it's like your escape, and you can't do it, and like really can't do it. It's not like you can kind of train a little, like you can't like train at all. And then like feeling like it's never getting better, like you're doing everything to like, and you're supposed to be progressing. And I felt like every time I would progress, then I would take like 10 steps back because it would get worse. So that's mentally hard. They say that it's not if you can physically overcome an ACL surgery, it's if you can mentally overcome an ACL surgery. And after the first surgery, I feel like I had hope after I knew, like I found a good surgeon. He's in California, Dr. D. He gave me answers like, oh, you're not crazy. Like your knee still is messed up. Because not having it done before, they always say like ACL is the worst surgery like an athlete can go through. So every time I would have problems or be in pain, I thought it was just a part of the recovery process.
Right.
And that time would just make it get better. And like it's mentally draining when you're like, it's not getting better, it's actually getting worse. But after I found the surgeon who like kind of gave me answers and like fixed me, I had like this newfound like motivation, because I was getting better. So it's like if you go to the gym every day and you're trying to lose weight and you keep gaining weight, you're like, I'm eating healthy and I'm training hard and I'm not losing weight. You have no motivation to go to the gym anymore. It's like, why?
I always find when there's a pepperoni pizza, it's hard to go to the gym.
Instead of you're eating healthy. But I don't know. And then I think too, I haven't really talked about this in any of the other interviews, but before the surgery, I was at a different gym and I was feeling kind of stagnant there because when I first started there, we had a ton of MMA fighters and we had a team. And then over the years, it became just a jiu-jitsu gym. So it was just me and I had to pay to fly all these girls out and I would stress about it. But during my knee surgery, like after the first knee surgery, I found a new gym, Valley Flow Striking, and I had a team again. And I feel like having people around you to push you and to motivate you and watching them fight and watching them be successful and like just team camaraderie is like a really, really big thing that I feel like mentally helped me a lot.
Well, I'll get into that in a second, but let me ask you about the first doctor. I just want to follow up on that because it's interesting. I would think that he knows you're a professional athlete and that you're, that it's not like, you want to fix everybody correctly, but a professional athlete, it's even more important to make sure that you get back. Did you have discussion with him post-surgery about like what was going on? And was he aware that you were an athlete?
He was aware going into the surgery that I was an athlete, but I think he's like more old school. He actually retired after my first surgery. I was one of his last surgeries. And then also everything happened with COVID. So it was during the beginning of the pandemic. So I couldn't see a surgeon, like nobody would see me. Because you could only like, it was only like emergency patients or like existing patients. And I needed to see a new surgeon for a doctor for a second opinion. And that didn't happen. So I was just in limbo, like, and I got offered to take a fight. And I was like, I knew I wasn't ready, but it was a year later. And I was like, I should be ready. Like, maybe it's just me being a baby with the pain. And you think, okay, time heals all wounds. Like with time, it'll just get better. And it didn't get better. So I did the entire training camp. Like I literally was taking like 6 ibuprofen every day just to like train. And I was like, I have an hour drive to the gym and I had to bring ice packs and I would like ice it like on the way home. Like it was terrible. So then the second surgeon, Dr. D, who's in California, is just more progressive, like post-lateral corner is not, I can't really blame the old surgeon because I think he just was, so stuck in the old ways, because post-lateral corner is almost like it's newer, so, cause I mean, he did fix the ACL technically, I don't know, like he just didn't fix the post-lateral corner. And I think too, being in Illinois, like different like areas, different states, like especially like California, like I just feel like doctors are better.
A little more progressive there.
Yeah, more progressive. Even the PT was better there. Like they were so conservative here in Illinois when I would do my PT. I'd be like, dude, I'm a professional athlete. Like I need to be pushed. They were like treating me like I was like this geriatric patient just trying to kind of maybe walk in a walker again. Like it was kind of
how they would treat me.
Yeah. I should send you to them. No.
Thank you for that referral. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Let me run this past you. I know the margins are tight for fighters, right? You're not getting rich just, fighting on UFC fight nights and everything. And so I wonder, like, when you're out on injury for a long time like that, and then as you mentioned before, having to fly girls in to train with you even before that, right? I mean, I would imagine like it made money tight. And, what does that do to your life? Like when you're doing what you love, but you're not getting rich at it. And, you feel like you should be one of the best in the world. And if you're one of the best in your world, you should be making some dough. And here you are, having these issues come up.
Well, that was a big thing first. And that's another reason why I ended up fighting, even though I shouldn't have. I needed to pull out, but a year later, like not fighting, not getting paid. Luckily, I've had a lot of, the same sponsors for years that have supported me. And, with social media, like I can, I have a good manager that helps, like, oh, you're going to get paid such and such to do this post or whatnot.
Right.
So that helped a lot. But at the same time, like being a professional athlete and wanting to get better, like you need the best. And it's like, even like not being able to afford like getting like a massage or like, my body work done, like all those little things. It makes you more desperate to feel like you have to fight, again, that's why because my last fight, I did fight with the injury, and it didn't go good, but I was like, I need to get paid, and I've already done all the hard work in the training camp. So I might as well just go fight and get paid. But then it's a snowball effect, because then you put your heart out there and you go and you lose in front of millions of people. And they're all saying how bad you suck and how you should retire and how you should hang it up. So that adds another mental layer, because I mean, you shouldn't listen to what the people say, but it's really hard not to. And you want to defend yourself, but it's like, how can you? Because people are mean. They're mean no matter what. Like they want to like bring you down. And it's hard to show your face, it's like, you're like, oh my God, like they're looking at me like I'm a loser. Like, but I feel like mentally I kind of overcame all that. My friend Carla Esparza, she's now the UFC
The champ with
115
the wedding
champion.
dress on.
Yeah. But she, after my first surgery, so she hooked me up with the doctor, Dr. D, who fixed me. But she also gave me this book called The Power of the Subconscious Mind. And I feel like it changed my life. I started reading it.
Oh, wow.
And then really putting it into action, everything from the book, and really focusing on it, and things just gravitated towards me, money issues. I got to sign the UFC Panini cards, and I got paid for that, because we're going back to the financial thing. And sponsors would be like, oh, we want you to post this, money just kept flowing to me at that point.
You.
And so that was motivating. And, I felt like everything just changed for me.
Well, after you talk about all that good, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but I will ask you one, because I think it has to be asked, so you fought with an injury and you lost the fight. You're going into this fight having lost 3 in a row, and you're 37 years old, right? So you know what happens to fighters who lose 4 in a row. And so I imagine you're fighting a good fighter in Karolina that you fought before. Imagine there's a heap of pressure on you. And how do you keep the thoughts of your job? I want to just keep this job out of your mind, because you can't think that when you're fighting. You have to just perform. So how do you put that on the back burner, so to speak, and focus on just...
It's on the back burner. It's not really a thought in my mind. I feel like, fighting desperate is not good. I feel like I'm happy now, which is great. I feel like I'm more confident. I'm more positive. I feel like my training's better. I feel like I'm healthier. I'm stronger than ever. And I've honestly I've ticked all the boxes of every single thing that I need to do to win this fight. And if I didn't win the fight, I feel like it's the universe saying that it's time to close just this chapter in your life.
Sure.
And I really do believe that. I really feel that I have done everything to win. And if I don't win, then there's something else for me, because I've been fighting for 20 years. Right. So for me, I have nothing left to prove in this game. If I go out like that, it's whatever, but I don't have that desperation anymore. I have to win. I have to win. No, if I get cut from the UFC, I get cut from the UFC. I'm also a great boxer. I can go I could still fight if I wanted to, other promotions would be willing to, take me on if that's what I chose to do. But I feel like everything comes down to my performance. If I perform the way I have been performing in training, I will win this fight. And that's that.
I'm going to ask you about the fight, but I want to sneak in one non-fighting question here. And that is about your book. I love that you wrote a children's book, and I want you to tell me about that. But I also wonder, did that, you wrote it and your father illustrated it for you. Did that help your relationship with your father? Not that you had a bad relationship, but collaborating with him on a project like that, did that do something for father and daughter in terms of the relationship?
Oh, it did, because we had something to collaborate on. We saw each other constantly, because, we were going over the book and book ideas and the illustrations and the characters. The characters took a while, to develop, me, oh, I want the little bulldog's got to have rainbow hair, and, we got to have, Sockum, he's got to have this logo on him. So we were constantly talking about the book. He was constantly sending me drawings. So we were just constantly talking. But also a backstory with that is, so my baby brother died of pancreas cancer when I was 7. And my dad is an amazing artist, illustrator, the best I've ever seen. Anyone can attest to that. And he hadn't drawn since my brother died. Oh, and I'm not saying it's a correlation, but after my brother died, he got depressed, and drawing is an outlet or something that he loved, and he just didn't do it anymore. So the first time he ever drew again was when I asked him to do the book with me.
I love that. Good for you.
So that was very special.
So how was the experience of writing a book, and do you think you'll try your hand at another one?
I feel I loved writing the books. I loved doing them with my dad, the children's book, but they're it was a good distraction during my time off. I wanted to create the little bulldog character, which is me, and do a children's book, but it was not there was no money in it. And not that it's about the money, but the time versus the money. And now I don't have that much time. I feel if I did write a book, it would be more on like a biography type, you know, about like everything I've gone through in the sport and the
The life of
injuries and
Felice. Yeah.
overcoming that. Yeah. I'm not saying I'm going to do that. I'm saying maybe I will. Who knows?
You know, there's been a lot
Who
of
knows
books
what
right
the
now
world of
on
Felice has.
well, good luck. Well, let's wrap on this because I appreciate your time and I know it's valuable. I don't want to keep you. Karolina's kind of in a must-win situation as well, I would think, right? So you fought her once before. What is she good at, and what do you think is going to be the key for you to win this fight?
Karolina is very good in the clinch. I feel like, especially because she's gotten beaten up a little bit in her last few fights, I feel like she might be more timid and fearful. And I feel like I just need to come at her and like show her like, no, I'm here. I'm not gonna like play this little like tit for tat game. I'm gonna come at you and be in your face and you're gonna be in a fight. And I feel like I just need to be aggressive and work on all wrestling I've been working on. My striking's great. I feel like every aspect of my game I've gotten better at. I mean, who knows? I mean, maybe she has too, but I don't feel like the level that she's jumped since our last fight would be as much as I've jumped. And it was a split decision. And I feel like the only edge she had on me was the clinch. And I've worked tirelessly on that. And I've also worked on, like when I would have her in a body lock, I wouldn't get it. I was like, what's the next step? And I've worked on that a lot. So we'll see, I feel like I'm going to win.
We will see the fruits of that labor on Saturday. You can see Felice Herrig on ESPN Plus against Karolina Kowalkiewicz on what is it, UFC Vegas 57, I think, or 58 maybe.
I don't even know.
But it's at Apex on Saturday. That's all you need to know. ESPN Plus. Felice, I appreciate you. Good luck to you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Bye.